And joining us now, retired Air Force Special Operations Commander Major Glenn Ignazio. Sir, thank you very much for joining us today to talk through some of these really important issues. I want to start with Iran before going into Ukraine. What do you make of Iran's warning attacks against these attacks during the funeral for their last supreme leader? And secondly, will Israel and the U.S. abide by their requests? That's a huge question there.
Yeah, I think we definitely will. I mean, there is a respectful part to it that, I think that we've always been good, at least from the United States, to do that. Of course, the rhetoric, Iran is always sort of doing the chest beating thing and, get it. But, Israel has their own thoughts on that, and hopefully they respect it accordingly, as I think we will. The dates are till about July 9th, I believe, is the time that period should end. But, we can always anticipate Iran's taking the top view as they control things. But I do believe it's going to be respectful unless they do something themselves.
All right. Also, the IDF says it eliminated a Hezbollah target today who was coming out of an underground infrastructure. So as we take a look at that, you think that this could provoke Iran after they gave a warning against attacks today? I mean, how does that play out?
Yeah, that's where this whole thing is intertwined with the negotiations and everything, where Lebanon and Hezbollah has been brought into the fold as far as, again, the negotiations. Those particular attacks, I mean, Israel is supposed to pull back. They're doing something that's more surgical. I get it, but still, you're doing an attack which is sort of triggering those particular agreements. I think something like this is still going to be in contention. Iran is looking for any opportunity to exploit. So if Israel takes this against Hezbollah, it's almost like they are hitting one of the proxies. And of course, we have to be concerned about it because Iran is, again, taking any opportunity to be able to exploit for these situations. So hopefully it doesn't trigger it. But you don't know what the mindset of Iran's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, as we say, all eyes on the Strait. We've got a new look at the new paths for the ships to use in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran warns ships to stick to them or face forceful response. So one of the things I had talked to experts over the weekend on News Nation Live, we were talking about how some of these ships are actually turning their beacons off so that they're not spotted. So I wanted to ask you about that. And how should the U.S. respond to these threats?
Yeah, the MOU was to basically say, the free chartering of, or the free negotiation or free transit, of the ships through the straits. So this is still getting back into the control of Iran, saying we want to take control of it. The AIS beacons are really used all over the world to identify automatic identification system where the ships are. So that's really given a hint to Iran of where these ships are tracking, which gives them targeting information. But again, they're saying strictly to it. I think that's setting up for tolls and all that they said, but they're still trying to have control of that. And again, it does contradict what the MOU is. It should be able to go as they see fit and what those lanes are defined as.
All right. Yeah, we're going to watch that carefully. And also I wanted to get your thoughts on Ukraine, where Russia launched one of the heaviest strikes on Ukraine in retaliation for attacks on its oil and data infrastructure. So when you take a look at this map, we're watching it together. Does this show Putin is under pressure with Russia not able to make more advances in the war? When you take a look at where these hits have been, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being there myself, I saw so much targeting of civilian housing and apartment buildings rather than military, but they are increasing their attacks on Kyiv in the particular center of the capital itself. And I think this is a significant response because Ukraine has been able to reach out and actually impact Russia significantly. Just even reaching Moscow does things, maybe not so much as a military standpoint, but definitely logistically by hitting the gas, and also psychologically because people are now seeing it's coming home. So this logistical attack by Ukraine has been monumental. They literally have practically carved off Crimea and really put them in a bad spot. So the escalation against Putin is one, image, military prowess. I think there's about 8 to 1 killed when the Russians get to the versus a Ukrainian on the line, and they only last about 10 days. So the lifespan's 10 days of a soldier. And again, it's really applying pressure to Putin. But unless he's removed, I don't see him stepping down much. He's just a brutal person and may declare war, and that changes everything within Russia.
Right. And we're also watching activity online, watching military bloggers who believe that the Russian soldiers only last about 20 to 35 minutes on the front lines because of Ukraine's evolving drone warfare. That makes sense, right? But how long can Ukraine maintain this? And could you see them winning the war over it?
Yeah, it's about a 710 kilometer sort of what we call dead zone. And so, yeah, from the training to the actual time, it's 10 days. And you're talking about minutes. That's right. So, in the beginning, it was a 3-to-1 ratio that the Russians were losing so much more. And now it's like at 8-to-1. So, that's still a dead zone, almost like World War One. I believe that the military capabilities for Ukraine, just because they're limited on people to be able to militarily push them out. I don't believe that they have the capability to push Russia out. But again, those are battles. A war is always won by logistics, and Ukraine is being brilliant now by reaching out into Russia. That is something that will force them. Without beans, bullets, and boots, there is no way for them to sustain conflict. So they may have to pull out. But again, Putin's throwing people to death. He doesn't really have a say, or at least have emotions towards that.
Right. All right. Well, thank you very much for chiming in on all of it. Glenn Ignazio, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you, you too.